Hey y'all, it's Jason from Game-Rave.com, otherwise known as Danger Boy. This is Game-Rave TV. I am wearing a Foots jersey. Hey y'all, it's Jason from Game-Rave.com, otherwise known as Danger Boy. This is Game-Rave TV. So clearly I'm wearing a football jersey today, although it's actually PlayStation based, good old 99 Studios. So clearly this is the end of the world. Now, in reality, this is to help celebrate the review of NFL Blitz 2000, which is our game of choice today. And to understand NFL Blitz in and of itself, you have to understand where it came from. And it is basically a succession to the lineage of Midway's NBA Jam series, which was originally 2-on-2 basketball. When NBA Jam had gotten so popular in the arcades, remember those? Midway started expanding upon that arcade sports angle, and originally that gave way to open ice 2-on-2 hockey and the WrestleMania arcade game, which oddly enough was 2-on-2 wrestling. Eventually they got to Blitz, which the football. However, instead of being 2-on-2, they expanded a little bit further to have more players on the field to allow obvious blockers and passers and so forth, which resulted in a 7 versus 7 field with a couple interesting rule changes. Basically 30 yards for a first down needed. The players, aside from the quarterback, really didn't have any true designation. Wide receivers could be running backs, they could throw the ball, etc. If you did really well 3 downs in a row, you got to be on fire, just like in the NBA Jam. There were no penalties. You could crush someone, tackle them early after the play is over, tackle them. The tackling animations even included almost like pile drivers. You could grab a guy and spin him around a couple times. Just a whole bunch of rambunctious motions that you wouldn't normally find in an NFL game. Now, with this being NFL Blitz 2000, it actually did have your standard upgrades like a normal sports game would from the original. You had updated rosters, better graphics. Well, what made this particular Blitz fun is that you could actually now create your own plays, both offensively and defensively, save them to a playbook on a memory card, and then upload them to your game when you needed to, be it against a friend or in the normal arcade game. Now, as far as actual gameplay goes, Blitz can just be brutally hard. Where NBA Jam had the problem of essentially having the blue shell problem, where you could be winning by a whole lot and all of a sudden the computer would rubber band back and it'd be an even game, etc. Blitz is just not nice. Now, I don't understand this comes from me not being really good at sports games or sports in general, but on the normal difficulty, I was lucky if I could get a pass that was longer than 10 yards or, now remember 30 yards is a first down in this one, or if I could even reach the quarterback on defense. What makes it peculiar is that when I adjusted the difficulty from normal to easy, the game got, for lack of a better term, creatively lax in certain areas. On easy, not only could I now reach the quarterback and tackle him for a loss of yardage, but the computer would actually just start running backwards for no reason. Like, I think in the one playthrough, I tackled a guy for a 40-yard, loss of yards. I can use sport ball terminology, haha. Or like when I went to go passing, it'd be really easy for them to fumble the ball and so forth. But as the game went on, the rubber banding problem came back, and sure enough, it was an even game, and 2 overtimes later, I still lost, but what have you. That said, those that actually played the arcade game back in the day would have a lot easier time getting into the home version than if you were just coming in blind. My only real complaint with it, and part of the problem is that I've played other Madden and football games before this one, is that in Blitz's passing scheme, instead of hitting a button to highlight a certain character, like say R1 for your right guy or L1 for the other guy, you actually have to move the joystick in the direction of the highlighted guy and then hit the pass button. Well, the problem is, when Blitz moves so fast, I mean, it's literally done, like next play. When you're moving that fast, to try and move the joystick quickly also moves your character. So if there's a defender coming towards me and my guy I want's right there, as soon as I hit right, I'm going to walk right into the defender. And I have yet to figure out how to combat this problem. Even on easy difficulty, I was still getting my ass kicked. But like I said, more than likely ID Denti error. Now, as far as collecting goes, Blitz 2000 has a very interesting printing history, both on the PlayStation and the Dreamcast. On the PlayStation, it has a black label release, obviously, except that was misprinted. On the CD case, the hologram, which probably should have been on the manual, is now on the case. And when you pull the manual out, it clearly says, like, you know, please place hologram here. So either they forgot to put the hologram on the manual, or it was supposed to just have been that one on the manual and something got mixed up in the translation. Now, add on to that the hologram is actually turned sideways. It's a misprint on a misprint. Dear God. Now, even more interesting on the printing side is that there's a greatest hits edition, and huge thanks to Jimmy Lin. He allowed us to pick up his copy and add to the Game-Rave library. The greatest hits edition, for one, still carries over the hologram problem. Two, his copy is the only known copy we've been able to track down, and he searched for longer than 3 months, where I searched for the 3 months and talking and discussing him up to this video, and we can't find another copy. Now, that being said, the one copy that was bought on eBay a while ago only went for $8, so clearly it's not a super expensive rare variant, because obviously no one was really looking for it. But if you are collecting variants, especially greatest hits, if you spot NFL Blitz 2000 greatest hits, you pick that fucker up real fucking fast, okay? And then let me know you found one so we can pass it on to let people know that it wasn't just some sort of weird misprint with the other games. But clearly it can't be a misprint because the disc is the proper greatest hits label as well. The theory is that the reason the GH is so rare is that it might have been printed right when Midway was having all the financial issues and so forth, or there might have been something that had it recalled, but we'll never know at this point. Now, on the Dreamcast side, all of Midway's first printings of their Dreamcast launch era games, Ready to Rumble, Hydro Thunder, NFL Blitz 2000, and the one I can never remember, Mortal Kombat Gold, all had printing problems. Either graphics were glitchy, the sound was goofy, that just didn't load, period. So Midway had to reprint all those games. With NFL Blitz 2000 specifically, the second printing would have a little designation sticker on it that said hot new to show that it was the corrected version. Except there's a variant of a variant in the fact that the first hot news were just stickers on the manual, and then it actually became part of the manual. It was actually printed like it was added to the design. So if you're collecting Dreamcast variants, you've got 3 copies of Blitz to worry about. The original version, hot new sticker, and hot new printed manual. All 3 of them are very easy to come by. For the hot new stuff, there really is only one oddball one to track down. Unfortunately, I can't remember which one that was because my collection is packed up. Speaking of, this actually will be the last episode of Game-Rave TV filmed in this room. In about 4 or 5 days from when this was recorded, I'll be moving into a temporary housing situation while I am trying to get my eventual housing situation set up and good to go. So I will be carrying very, very light. It'll basically just be me, my camera, my computer, and whatever's in here for updating Game-Rave. So once I get set up in my temporary location, we'll see what we can do about having Game-Rave TV continue, etc. Obviously the website will still be updated, no problem, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Next time you see me, the background's going to be a little bit different. That being said, I hope you guys have a great week or weekend as when I'm filming this. Otherwise, I'll see you next episode. Take care, guys. Have a good one.